So today we're going to see what this nasty little battery has done to the insides of this Macintosh SE30. If you're interested, stick around. Hey, I'm Luke and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing the first in what I am assuming will be a number of videos in order to get a Macintosh SE30 maybe go in again, maybe not. It's a bit hard to know at this stage. Next weekend, I'm actually going up to Sydney and I'm going to take part in an event with the Australian Computer Museum Society called Macageddon. And basically they've got 7 Mac SE30s that they've come across in various states, unknown condition. And they're basically having an event on Saturday next weekend at the museum, basically to get a whole bunch of people together and try and get them working again. So I'm going to go up there and give that a go. But I thought what I'd do today is do some practicing, because it's been a little while since I've done a bit of a work on a Mac SE30. I actually have this one in the back of my video there that's been here for a couple of weeks, actually probably maybe a bit more than that now, probably a month and a half I've probably had it. I have kind of just been waiting because I know what it entails. I did open it up when I first got it just to check the condition because I bought it off, I think, Facebook Marketplace. It was in unknown condition. When I tried to turn it on, it's basically just got garbage on the screen. And it was rattling, something was rattling inside. So yeah, that was the first indication that all is not well. Actually, I'm not even sure whether I turned it on now that I think about it. I think the people who sold it to me had turned it on and there was pictures of that. I never turned it on. So anyway, so I first got it and opened it up and had a look, and it's a bit of a mess inside. It's basically had a battery bomb. So let me get it down off there, and we'll have a look at it. Yeah, and it's obviously had some impact happen here at some point, and pushed the front plastic in. Now, the reason why it's not in good condition, obviously I said it was making noise. Something was running around. So I did open it up and I have parts of it here. They're the screws. But this bit here is the main offender of the problem that we have. You can probably guess it's a dreaded Maxwell battery, and it's still in its holder. So let me just switch back over to this view under the microscope and we can have a bit of a look at it. Let's just go up a bit higher. And there it is in all its glory. It's definitely had a degree of explosion at some point in this Mac. And unfortunately the Mac has taken the brunt of this battery explosion. So that was what was rattling around in it. As well as that, there's all of this stuff, which is actually, you'll see what that is in a minute. It's like parts of the shield that goes around the motherboard. So that can go back in that bag because that's a bit gross. We also have one of the oscillators that has detached itself from the board as well. That's it there. That was just floating around with all of that rubble. So I don't know if there's got any signs on it, but I'll show you where that came from. Now, Is this salvageable? I don't know. I'm yet to decide, but I thought it's a good thing to practice on, and I do want to get this cleaned up and get all the gunk off it. So that's what we're going to do today. So what my intent is today is I'm going to do this video as a bit of a pre-recorded video, and I'll let it go out on Sunday. And then immediately after, I'm going to do another part of this video, which I'll do as a live stream. So if you're watching this video and you then want to see what happens after this video, I will do a live stream immediately after. And my intention is between now and then, because it's currently Friday as I record this, I'm obviously going to get the board out, try and clean it up a bit, and put it in my ultrasonic cleaner, try and really clean it up before I do and get the gunk off it, and before I do any big starts on repairing. So I'm sort of thinking that potentially in my live stream I might put new caps on it. I'm a bit worried that it may have trace damage, but we'll soon find out. So let me just see if I can get this open. The screws are not in it at the moment because I didn't bother putting them back in. Oh, there we go. All right, so you can, oh, there we go. And there's stuff coming out already. Oh, I just gave a thumbs up. Okay, so you can start to see what's going on. So if you look in there, there's the white crustiness. Put that down there. Admittedly, when I first opened this up, a lot of this stuff ended up on my desk. So you can sort of see that the rust has obviously leaked in and damaged all of this. So not in great condition. And that's a bit of a worry there. What you see there, we've got a whole bunch of rust that has actually come through the board and has done some nasty stuff down here. I mean, this is where you'll see when we have a look at the other side of the board, this is where the bulk of the damage is. This shield is, I mean, it's got some, it's very dried up, gunk on that's still on the plastic bit here, but the rest of it is just so brittle and just falling apart. I feel that that shield has seen its day. I'm actually put it in a bag so that it doesn't flake all over my workshop. All right, so I've already detached, when I first pulled this apart, detached the cables because I had a look at the board. So before we do that, let's just flip this back and have a look inside. Otherwise, not too bad is the way I would describe it, apart from obviously there's signs of rust. We've got a hard drive. Do not know if it works. There's a bit of rust going on this drive bay for the floppy disk. Flyback transformer doesn't look too bad. She's pretty dusty and dirty. It's probably had a fair bit of use over the years. It's got one of the, is it Antec? I think it's an Antec power supply. It's not one of the Sony ones. The Sony ones are the better ones. These ones are notorious for having leaky caps in them as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if this power supply is in a sorry state inside of it as well. Definitely worth recapping. Otherwise, that side looks okay. It's a bit hard to see. But I don't think there's actually any damage to the analog board, really. Obviously, getting caught up on my cable there. Let's get rid of that out of the way. There's a bit of rust down here, though. So definitely the chassis, the metal chassis has taken a bit of brunt to it. All right. Now we're going to just lift this out. The more I look at this board, the more I don't know whether this is going to work. All right. And there is, let's have a look at that board first. There is our carnage. So obviously that battery exploded and went and blew all of its contents all over the metal chassis. Now, I've seen worse, to be honest. I have actually seen these things completely rusted. That isn't great, but it is repairable. Like a good, decent Dremel sanding back of that, and then retreating it like with some rust guard and then respraying the whole thing, that would actually end up looking brand new again. So there's an exercise. That sounds like a fun project, doesn't it? I look at this sometimes and go, why am I doing this? Anyway. So yes, that one is definitely repairable. I don't think that screw's going to survive. It's pretty rooted. All right. So the case and analog board is one challenge that's going to have to be attempted. But the main event is really, can we get this board to work again? So what do we got? I mean, it doesn't look ridiculously bad up here. It's, all of this is all in pretty good nick. There's no damage really up there. It actually, while the capacitors look like they may have leaked, doesn't look like it's done a huge amount of damage, but we will see when we go to try and clean those up. We've got a full set of RAM. I'm guessing that's one. What's here? Let's just have a look. See. I think these are 256. Yeah, 256. So I'd say it's got 1 meg of RAM in these 4 sims, and then I imagine those other ones are 1 meg sims, which maybe gives it 5 megs. These plastic things. There we go. They all look in pretty good condition. Just, they have not been released in a very long time. I mean, to be honest, they're probably the original sims that sold with this Mac from the factory in the 80s. This, as I said, this would have sold with 1 meg from the factory. And then someone at some point has decided, oh, I want an upgrade. Oh, wow. Extra 4 megs of memory. Wow. That's exciting. I mean, in those days it would have been. Not so much now. But yes, there is crud all through each of these RAM slots. There we go. All the memory's out. And actually in pretty good condition. So there we go. This is not too bad up this part of the board. But where the problem starts to be is all of this. So like, I'm concerned about the traces to the ROM chip and the amount of damage that has been happened here. That this is just, that looks super crusty. It's bizarre what's happened with that capacitor. In fact, all the capacitors look kind of weird. They kind of got this white crust on them. But Let's just try and release this ROM chip. Okay, yeah, so the ROM chip ain't in great condition. Oh dear. This is actually rusted. I don't know whether that's... Oh no, I thought it actually rusted off the copper there, but I think it's just, it looks pretty terrible. I do actually have spares of these ROMs, so that is not the end of the world, but it'd be interesting to see whether that cleans up when you put it through the ultrasonic cleaner a bit. I'm quite concerned about what's going on in here though. And just in general, everything that's happening here. These F258 chips, that one looks like it's gone, as does that one, and that one's halfway there. I think these are resistor packs, I think. And they don't look good on this side. And these ones, yeah, it's just not great. The main concern I have though is that the fact that some of this has obviously got through the board, seeped through, and then it's dripped down here and gone to the CPU legs. So that's not great at all. It will be interesting to see how this cleans up. I definitely need to clean this board up because every time I touch it, it just ends up with crap everywhere. All right, I'm just going to bring the microscope over and let's have a closer look. Okay, so let's start with the ROM chip. ROM sim, sorry. I don't think it's great news. I don't think that's great news at all. I'd say that's very bad news. Because that all looks super crusty. Whether that's going to be recoverable or you'd have to actually completely replace the ROM sim slot. I mean, the reality of this board is if I can't get this to work, it's actually a really good candidate, I reckon, for a reloaded board. Like what I've had Will at KMac Vintage do for me once already onto one of my boards. That wasn't a battery bomb board though. This one is. The interesting thing about this though, I actually have bought a PDS ROM. There we go. I had this computer in mind when I bought this. So it's a PDS ROM from Kiro's Mac Mods, which allows you to actually install a ROM sim onto the PDS slot over here. So this thing. So basically, potentially bypassing this sim socket, as well as any of the damage going to that sim socket. So that is possible. I say that with a very worried look as I look at this. Like, okay, let's start looking at these things over here. What do we got? Something missing there. I don't know what that is. The real-time clock chip, I'd say that's gone. You can replace these. I actually have some replacements. Again, I think I bought a set of them off Will from KMac Vintage, so I have a replacement for those. That oscillator that I showed you before, Y1, there it is. That's where it lives, or used to live. Doesn't live there anymore. Rust definitely had its way there. Oh my God, look at that chip. Poor little chip. Yeah, so these F258s, that one dead. That one as well. And that one probably. I'd say they're all dead. I just don't know. I mean, this is potentially good practice for next weekend. Although I don't think I'd be able to fix this in one day. My God. We got here. Maybe. I mean, the reality of those chips are they all look pretty crap. And I'll have to have a look and see whether I can get new ones of them and potentially just replace all 4 of them, all 6 of them, sorry. Those resistor packs, I think you can get modern replacements for these. They don't look too bad though, they just need a bit of a clean up. Funnily enough, there's not a lot of damage by the looks of it to the traces. One of the things I have found with these SE30s, I don't know if this one's going to be following this, but oh, there we go. It's coming off. What does it look like underneath? Oh, it's really hard to do that. Oh dear. Yeah, that tracer's got some rust going on in it there. But yeah, so like I was saying, I've found sometimes the rust on these is very surface level and doesn't do a lot of damage to it, and then other times completely destroys it. So I don't know where this goes. I feel like this could be somewhere between there. So when I said this is going to be multi-part, I feel like this is going to be many parts. But see what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff just sitting there, but the traces underneath all that crap actually don't seem to have been affected. So it's weird. Gently. Yeah, see? Like, those traces are actually fine underneath there. We just need to get all of this rubbish off it. It's when, like what I was showing before with wherever that trace was up here, wasn't it? Yeah, when this sort of stuff happens where you see the thing bubbling, this is not a great sign. It means the rust is obviously, the acid has sort of got into the actual underneath the UV mask and got to the copper and started to cause damage. So yeah, this might be a long-running series over many different times that I might just depend on when I decide I want to come back and try and get into this beastie. But I think for the purposes of what I want to do this weekend, I want to get all of this crud off the board so we can actually have a decent look at what needs to be replaced. Because I think I'm going to have to order some parts, obviously. Going to then need to obviously just do work on it. But no wonder this didn't work. I wouldn't want to work if I looked like this. Alright, I'm just going to scrape away for a little bit here and then we'll try and tip all this stuff off. I mean, there we go. So, I don't know. I do not know whether that is going to come back from this Maxwell battery disaster. And then the other side is the other question. Like, it's amazing the amount of damage that has happened. Interesting how they're showing up as red. Actually, no, I think they're still okay. It's just that one there. There you can see the full copper underneath that. It'll be interesting to see how this board takes to a ultrasonic cleaner. It'll probably take a lot of this sort of stuff off. Some of the birdseed capacitors don't look good on this side as well. I mean, this is basically where the battery leaked from, so that's one of the other sides of the battery terminal there. So that one there, and the other one's up there. Beastie there. That's obviously the grounding negative side. We've got some crud happening here. What's going on here? Oh, it just took that metal bit off, whatever that was. Yeah, I'm not confident about this board being recoverable. I mean, maybe, you never know. With the right amount of time spent on it. But like I said, this could actually end up just being a very good candidate for reloading. Because most of the other components on that other half of the board aren't looking too bad. This is what I'm worried about. What if it's damaged the CPU? That's then not great. So it's definitely damaged that leg. All these pins seem to be linked. So. Again, it's sitting on there. It hasn't actually done a huge amount of damage from what I can see. Apart from here, that pin is a bit of a worry, this one. Whatever's happening here, it's just a big blob of acid. And then it's got down as far as here. Definitely just ended up on random little blobs that then just set and just festered on the board. I mean, no wonder the pictures when I bought this showed it. Crap, I feel like the computer would have gone, oh my god, I can't work. All the way down to the SCSI port. Okay, so give it a bit of a brush off. I mean, it looks better. Ish. Let's have a look at these caps while we're at it. So look at that cap. It's all bulgy. I'm just going to remove him. My preferred way of removing caps is to chop them off. I normally just do it like this. Oh wow, He's just disintegrated that one. Let's have a look-see here. What do we got? See, I feel like some of that acid somehow got over here as well. It's like this, it followed the ground plane of this board. Well, that looks better. Still got a bit of a leg on there, but see, actually not too shabby. Need to get that other leg off it, but pad's still there. Let's just do all 4 of these while we're at it. I do them long ways like this so that it's in line with where the solder points are, just to make sure you don't put too much stress on the pads. It's amazing just how flaky this is. I don't think I've ever seen one with this white powder stuff going on. I figure it's good to get these off before I put it through into the ultrasonic cleaner. That way I can clean all the crud up. That doesn't look too bad underneath these capacitors though. I've seen worse, for sure. Up you come. Thank you. Okay, they all look alright. Definitely seen worse. There's not too much crud around here. It did leak. They didn't leak too badly. But one more. This beastie over here. Again, not too bad once you get them off there. Oh, there's one more capacitor. I forgot about him over here. Just minding his own business. This is the one that causes generally grief. with that UE8 chip there, which looks somewhat crusty. Otherwise, not too bad up there around all those capacitors. So that's all I'm going to do for now. What I'm going to do now, between now and the next part of this video, which as I said probably will be a live stream that I'll run straight after I play this video onto, or put this video up onto YouTube. I will hopefully have this board somewhat looking cleaner, hopefully, so we can inspect it a little more. I'll see whether I've got one of these oscillators and replacement real-time chip if it needs it. Real-time chip does look like it's still attached though. I may put some new capacitors on it. Oh, here's a bit of capacitor. I might try Kiro's MacMod's PDS ROM replacement and see whether it's got any life. That's my potential aim for part 2. Whether that works, I don't know, because it's in a very interesting shape. So that's all I'm going to do for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. If you're interested, please like and subscribe, and jump on and watch when I have a go at this in a live stream and see whether I can kick it into any form of life, or whether this is destined to become a reloaded board at some point. So thanks again, talk to you soon, and see you later.